Afternoon everyone, I'm back again. It's week 6 of uni now, so I thought I'd come back and give you guys an update, let you know how I'm getting on, and let you know what I'm getting up to. It's pretty crazy, right? So week 6, I'm like halfway through the semester, and I'm about to start my study break. So yeah, as I said, come with me, see what my week's like. I'll let you know what I'm getting up to, let you know what I've been doing, let you know what I've enjoyed, maybe not so enjoyed, and things that have surprised me. And just hang out with me for the week.
A few moments later.
Hi. Just after I signed off, like a typical student, I just had some ramen. And this, the buldak ramen, I think it's from Korea. Now I've had it before, and thought, wow, that's too spicy. So I got a cheese one, thinking that'd be less spicy, you know, lactose, milk, cheese. It's not. I feel like I can normally handle my spice, but Jesus, that's too much. But I got this from the IGA on campus, and that is one thing that surprised me. So let's go to the campus and we'll talk about it.
Hello. Right, I'm on campus right now because I want a zesty drink. And also, it lines up with my previous point. And also, it comes into what I was talking about before, is the things that surprised me about coming here. I didn't know how much stuff was here. Like, that sounds pretty naive. I understand that, like, people live here and people do stuff, but having never been around it, I didn't know. But there is a Subway here, there's an IGA, there is a rolled Vietnamese food, there is a bubble tea place, there is all sorts. I'll take you for a look around whilst I grab my zesty drink. So basically, if you walk through the beautiful little gardens here, it's a bit cold today, I will note, but alas, you go through here. This building here in front of you, you can see, is the reflectory. That could be wrong, that's I think what it's called. And that's where you'll find Subway, you'll find rolled, you'll find a bubble tea place, microwaves, all that kind of stuff. There's also a few coffee shops in there too. So if you follow this round here through nearby student centre and all that kind of stuff, and then tucked away in the corner, we keep going, tucked away in the corner over there is the IGA. And this is where I'm going to come for my zesty drink. See if we can find, it says the evil ramen that I got earlier actually died. It's scary a bit because what about the extra spicy stuff here? But that's the other thing, is that so much stuff in here is like international, which is really cool. So if you want to try fun foods, this is the place to come. So yeah, that was my little tour of the village IGA, just to sort of explain that people do live here, and people do kind of do all sorts of stuff here, and there are also all sorts of amenities here. And I think they're open till like 8-9 p.m. There's even a kebab shop, would you believe that? Anyway, so I actually recorded this after I went to my art class, but I did have a little chat to you about what I'm doing in my art class and why I'm doing it. So I'm going to hop back now and talk you through my art class. Hello, I'm now on my way to my art class. Now, I thought I'd use this opportunity to explain what I'm actually doing and why I'm doing it. So, I've had a few comments asking me why on earth I'm doing an art class and why on earth I'm doing history, because I'm doing a computer science degree. Now, that's a very good question, and one I didn't really understand before I started. But, so, I am enrolled on a Bachelor of Science to complete my Bachelor of Science, I need to do 4 units during my semester. Now, one of those is taken up by computer science. That is the case throughout my entire degree. I will always be doing at least one or a couple of computer science units to get my Bachelor of Science in computer science. But that leaves 2 or 3 spaces for me to fill it up with other things that I have to fill it up with. So those are called electives, and I've chosen to do a art elective because that falls into a minor that I can do called Digital Art and Creativity. I've also picked a history class, and the reason I picked that is just because I'm into my history. That's something I am interested in. So I hope that sort of cleared things up. As I said, going forward in my next semester and any other semesters I do, there will always be computer science classes, but there may not always be art classes or history classes or even maths classes like I'm doing right now. So that sort of explains it. Now what I'm doing in this particular class is I've just done a digital collage. Now, my first assignment was to do a paper collage, which I can show you a picture of. Then it was making my mask. Then it was making a stop motion animation of my mask, which you saw in my last episode. And this time it was making a digital collage in Adobe Photoshop. I've done that. I've printed it off on A3 paper. I will probably flash up on the screen what it looks like. And I'm now going to do a little presentation with all 3 of my little doings. So I've just got to the campus. I will now get there, get myself ready and do a presentation, and I'll see you afterwards. Bye-bye. Welcome back. Welcome back to post-IGA, post-art class me. I've gone a bit rogue. We've got a Sam's lemonade. Now this says Sam's lemonade, simply better. Blue chill lemonade plus vitamins, low calorie. That was what I was after. Seems pretty fun. And then also, if you didn't think that was rogue enough, I've gone even more completely rogue. Royal blend tea latte. Since I've moved here, I actually haven't been drinking tea. I was a big tea person, typical English person, tea basically all day, every day. But I think it's a combination of tea bags a bit different, water a bit different, that I just haven't been feeling it. And I don't miss it too much. Like, sure, if I was back in the UK, I'd be drinking tea, but I'm in Australia, I'm not drinking tea anymore, and that's just that. I'm not doing it. So come with me while I try this strange Asian tea drink. That smells really strongly of tea. I feel I'm going to get a headache with the tea smell. Well, that is tea. That is sweet, strong tea. I don't hate it. I always like to try new things. I do this when I go on holiday as well. I'm really the person to try all the new, fun, exciting stuff. It doesn't always work out, but it's always worth it to try. Right. Thanks for coming with me today. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, it's my first day at work this week, so I'll see you on my commute to work. Bye-bye. Morning all. Wednesday morning, time for my first day of the work week. Just walking into work, just got off the bus. See what today has in store for me. I'll probably catch up with you after work and just chat through how I'm manoeuvring this whole work and uni thing and what I'm doing and how I'm getting on with it. So I'll catch you after work. Good afternoon. It's now just gone 4 o'clock. Now, it's a bit rainy, which is a bit gross, but the reason that I've sort of started you here through the day and then immediately cut to the end of the day is because I want to show you a bit of my 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5, or more accurately, my 4 to 8 after my 8 till 4. Yeah, show you a little bit about what I get up to and how I managed to actually do work and uni. As I said before, I'm not really sacrificing on either, I feel like. I feel like I can keep up with both quite happily, and I'm having a good time. Good day at work today. Started to get into some actual work. I'm slowly feeling more comfortable with what I'm doing, but it just will take time. So I will see you when I get home.
Well, if I thought it was raining before, it definitely rained on my walk home. I'm pretty soaked, so I'm going to go and get changed into my comfies, and then I'll come back downstairs and chat you through what I'm getting up to after work. Hello again. Step one, put the oven on and get some food in there ready for Sarah to come home. I've just been at home, so always good to get a head start on dinner. Now, step two. Get my math lecture done from the comfort of my own sofa. So I've missed out on a math lecture today, just one lecture. So what I normally do is I come on here and load the lecture up with my notes, take some notes, and then I'm caught up for the day and I haven't missed out on anything. So I'll see you once I've done my lecture. Hello again. I've now finished my math lecture. Sarah's come home, we made dinner, and now it's time to thoroughly chill out. I'm pretty exhausted, to be honest. A long day, but a good day. So I'm now all caught up with my uni work for the day, and all I've got to do now, tomorrow I'll have 2 lectures. So what I've done before is I have done my math lecture that I'll miss tomorrow, and then, because I'm working half a day Friday, I'll do both my history lectures on a Friday as well as a reading, and at that point I'm all caught up for the weekend, and the weekend I can just use as my weekend. So with that, I'll sign off for the night and I'll see you in the morning.
Good afternoon. It is now Friday. I didn't vlog yesterday, mainly because it was the same as Wednesday. I went to work, came back, did a lecture, and then went to bed, basically. But it's Friday, and Fridays are a bit different because I do half a day. And also the sun's out, which is glorious. So right now, I'm going to get on the way home and do some more uni work, surprise, surprise. But I also wanted to go over a couple of things that maybe surprised me about my adventure so far. But before that, I've got a stop to make, and I will see you at my next stop. So as I walk through town right now, my next stop on the train will be Subiaco. I've got a package to pick up. It's, as I said, it's a beautiful day through the town. Nice place to be. I quite like the little walk that I get from work to the train station. But I will see you at my next stop. Actually, I just had a little thought before I get on the train. I'll just go into one thing that surprised me. I had a little think about things that have surprised me, and this one is a bit weird. Maybe not a bit weird, but you might think differently of me, or might think I'm a bit stupid for saying this, but I didn't know there would be classrooms at university. Does that sound silly? It probably does. I kind of expected everything to be in big lecture halls. There are big lecture halls, and I do lectures in big lecture halls. That makes sense, right? But I didn't realise that, like, tutorials and all that kind of stuff is just like in a classroom. It's just like being at school. You're in a classroom, there's a whiteboard, things are presented, and you speak and answer questions, just like in school. And I don't know why, I just thought it was going to be different. I thought everything's going to be bigger, there's going to be hundreds of people in classrooms, there's going to be so many different things and things I'm not going to understand, but really, it's just a bit like being in school. Right, I better get on the train. Hello, I'm at the train station. My train isn't for another 10 minutes, so I thought, perfect opportunity to come back to you. Another thing that surprised me, I don't want to sound too cocky, headstrong, whatever, but there's not as much pressure as I was expecting, right? And I'm not saying it's completely stress-free, right? But in terms of pressure, I feel like I'm given an assignment and a date to do it, and there's plenty of time. And in my current headspace, I just try and do it as soon as I can. I don't really think about the deadline that I've got that's in 4 weeks or whatever. I'll think, oh, well, I've got time to do that this weekend. I've got time to do that this Friday. So while I've got time, I'll just do it. So in that respect, I feel like it's not going too badly. Hello again. Notice anything different? I have new glasses. Much like Sarah's, my glasses were pretty done. The lenses were pretty scratched and everything. So I got new ones too. So what do we think? I like them. I think they're pretty cool. Right, back on the train and back home. I'll see you at home. Hello again, and welcome back home. I've just had something to eat and I'm ready to crack on with my uni work. Which leads me into another thing that surprised me with this whole experience, and that's how motivated I am.
It sounds strange, like I came into it thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to be motivated, I'm going to do this. But obviously, like, I've been to school already, and I didn't do that great at school, so I was always worried in the back of my mind. I was like, oh, maybe I'm not going to try hard enough, maybe I'm going to struggle, and maybe I'm going to slack off. But so far, I've been pretty motivated. Like, every day I will get on and I will do my lectures, and I will do my assignments, which has proved to be really helpful so far. I guess that's why they like mature students so much. It kind of makes sense. I'm not the 16-year-old who doesn't want to do school anymore, and now the adult who wants to invest in my in my education. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I've got a couple history lectures to do, and then a reading. I will get on with that, and then I'll explain to you why I'm doing history. I know I sort of touched on it when I spoke about art, but I know I've had a couple of comments being like, why are you doing history? What are you doing in history? So let me load up my laptop and I'll talk you through it. So here we are. I've got my laptop up. You can see my nice little maths notes. So I come on here, I go onto my Blackboard or LMS, whatever you call it, and I look through what I've got to do, look at my lectures. They're normally like 45 minutes. Another thing that surprised me is how come in my timetable the lectures are an hour, but actually they're only 45 minutes. I know why now, is because you've got to have time to get to your next lecture. But when I came in from, I guess, a professional world or from the school, you're like, well, if it says it's an hour, it's going to be an hour. I don't know where else you would sign up, get told it's an hour, and then, oh no, 15 minutes of that is just faffing time, which is interesting. Yes. Why am I doing history? What am I doing in history? Again, I kind of said before, I'm doing history because I've got to have some electives to fill out my Bachelor of Science program. And I've always been kind of into history. I have listened to a few history podcasts. There's this guy called Mike Duncan who does a podcast called The History of Rome and Revolutions, and I find those really interesting. I've listened to all of them, I think. So when I saw I could do history, I thought, I'll give it a go. I didn't do history at school because I very much wanted to keep it as like a hobby. Does that kind of make sense? Like, I enjoyed looking at it in my spare time. I didn't really want there to be any pressure, but I'm going to university. I've got the opportunity, so why not? The course is called Clash of Empires, and we're just about getting to the Empires stage. It's really interesting. It's like global history, not something I would have initially looked into. I'm more kind of like looking into specific events and details in history, and I find that interesting, like the personal aspect and what specific people were going through. And I'm not really a broader strokes kind of history person, but it's an interesting perspective. So let me do my lecture. I'll come back to you. Right, so I've now done my history lectures. Again, really interesting. As I said, it's not the kind of thing I would have been into before. I like history, but I didn't know this was going to be that kind of history. But here we go. And what I find really cool is, I probably mentioned it here and there before, is how accessible the uni material is. So I was worried before that I'd miss out on not going to lectures and I would not be getting the full experience if I wasn't going into university. But to be honest, I feel I get nearly as much, if not just as much, out of the recording as I do actually going to the lectures. And I know that if I need anything, I can go in on my couple of days and get whatever I need. So that's really handy. I also wanted to come on and say that I know I'm presenting this really fun, this is all so fun and I'm doing so well. Like, not every day is so easy. There are some days where I feel pretty down about what's going on. Like, this is such a massive life change for me. If I don't think too much, it's really exciting, right? And I'm getting swept up in university and work and everything. But it's all too easy to kind of sit down for a minute and think about what's going on and go, maybe not that I'm not happy with what I'm doing. I'm delighted with what I'm doing.
I love my uni course and I love this new job I've got. It's great. It's so interesting and so cool, the stuff that I'm seeing. It's such a big change for me, you know, it's such a big change from what I used to do. And I think I'm still coming to terms with that. And that's okay. It's going to take time. You know, time heals all things. But I am still coming to terms with that. And whilst I come in here and look like everything's fantastic, sometimes it's not. And it's okay. And that's okay for everything not to be fantastic, you know. I just wanted to be a bit more realistic and be honest about my experience, you know. But with that, that's been my week. I want to make this video because it's now 6 weeks since I started university, and that means that I'm halfway through my semester, which is absolutely crazy. I feel like I've only really scratched the surface of what I'm doing, which I suppose I have, but 6 weeks and I'm halfway done. I'm on a study break next week. Like, what's that about? But I'm really happy with how everything's going. So I'm managing to keep up. I don't feel like I'm getting snowed under yet, but I'm sure that will come. Right now, I'm happy with what's going on. I'm loving work. I'm loving uni, and as I said, getting swept up in it all is kind of fun. So I will get on with the rest of my work. I think I've got a reading to do now. And then I think Sarah and I are going out for the evening with some pizza by the beach, so that'll be good fun. So with that, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions or anything, just let me know. Hit me a comment. I do read them all, and I try to reply to as many as I can. Thanks so much for watching. It really means a lot. I can't believe how many of you guys come in and watch it and enjoy it, but I'm so glad to have you all with me. So if you like it, give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It already helps, you know. Right. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.